I just came off the most amazing sabbatical. Here, there. All right. I'm here with Lord Snaggletooth. Snaggy! Snag! Yeah, he's ignoring us. So I just came off the most amazing sabbatical. I have, for a number of years now, hung out with friends who are animal communicators. And let me make sure the volume is good. No live stream. Oh, yeah. No, we're on. Okay. So I have friends who are animal telepaths. And I just love how people are able to talk with animals. My friend Jackie, who owns Pause and Play in Manassas, Virginia, there were times when I had to help it. It's like not my fault. And so I took it to mean that maybe some kind of stress or anxiety was bringing it on. And the more I was getting upset with him, the more it was happening. So I totally chilled on the cat, gave him lots of love. He gave a few communications of what he wanted to make him happier and more comfortable, and we did. And then lo and behold, the cat wasn't even doing this. Dog, Lord Snaggletooth, it's not his fault. He's like a 16-year-old dog, and in the middle of the night, he had to go to the bathroom. So we were blaming the cat for something the dog was doing, and that was stressing out the cat. So I'm so grateful for my brilliant animal telepath friend, Jackie, who, along with a bunch of other really insightful messages, shared all this and helped us resolve everything. And all the animals were like so happy. And it was so funny. After I got off the phone with Jackie, the cat and dog were completely different in behavior. Like, keto. Ugh. They were like, so, like, you could tell, finally, I've been heard. It was really amazing. So anyway, I've been studying animal telepathy, and it's, I've mentioned this before. I feel so stupid because I realize animal telepathy is the exact same as mediumship. It's the exact same as connecting with the Akashic Records, talking to or channeling ascended masters. It's all the same. It is all opening yourself up and inviting the information to come in. It's like, it's like if you're going to call friends on the phone, you don't need to relearn how to use the phone. You just have a different number that you reach out to. And that's all it is. There's no difference. So for all of you who are psychic mediums, intuitives, channels, who receive messages, who feel things, feel welcome to expand your repertoire to include our beautiful animal brothers and sisters. So Xander and I went on a road trip. I was doing presentations around Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, both Atlanta and Savannah area, and Florida, around Florida. So get all the states in there. So I want to thank everyone who supported our work. Last week I wanted to do this, but we were like driving straight from, like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So, I toyed with the idea of pulling over in a diner somewhere and doing the live stream, but I was like, so, yeah, that happens sometimes. Life gets in the way of your plans. Anyway, as we've been traveling, I have been visiting animal sanctuaries. And this is mind-blowing. Like, all those great videos of like a dog and a duck that are best friends, or, all of that. We went to Noah's Ark near Atlanta, Georgia, which is where the lion, tiger, and bear are best friends. Although the lion has passed away, so now it's the bear and the tiger. but they're best friends, and their lion friend is buried in their enclosure. He's the only one of all the animals there that's buried in the enclosure where he lived. So um, Xander and I got a behind the scenes tour. We were there for hours, and we had a couple of tour guides, and we were going and like learning the stories of every, like, not every animal. They have like 1,400 animals, but we really learned a lot of information. And I got to spend a lot of time really connecting with the animals there. It was like, oh my God, there were times I was crying. It was so beautiful. And we may have to move inside. These like mosquitoes are coming out. And I'm tasting sweet tonight. So, at first I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to come off as the weird wackadoodle lady. But finally, like our tour guides who, they work there, of course, were picking up on the fact that I was like spacing out around all these animals. And also, like, Xander has this energy. Animals love him. It doesn't matter where we go or what kind of animal. They go up to him and they love him. So our guides were going like, this is so weird, because some of the animals that usually stay further off, or they'll come kind of close but not too close, they were all coming right up and hanging out and interacting and like being super social and friendly. It was really nice. I mean, of course, there was a fence between us and them. But it was just like, it was amazing. I'm trying not to kill any bugs, but any of my friends who are hardcore, like, and you're watching this, if you see like a mosquito get swatted, I apologize. So, I was just like loving on these animals. They were loving on me. And I was asking them questions, and like every animal's unique personality was coming out. They were sharing their stories. And so I was asking questions of our guides. Like some of the animals, their stories were like posted right there because, of course, a rescue place wants to it's about educating the public as to what's happening to animals as much as like giving the animals a good home. But there was a lot, like I was asking questions like, why would this animal feel this way or that? So, they're used to animal telepaths going over there. That's nothing new for them. And so we were having this great conversation, and I was telling them what I was picking up on, and they were telling me how it related, how it was relevant. But the biggest thing is all the animals there, they have an energetic mandala that they connect in, a grid that they can all connect in. It went across species, like absolutely. And they were so proud to be part of this family. And that word came up again and again, like, we are family. The animals, the humans, all of them, they were like, we are family. And when you are here with us, you are family as well. They were like, oh, it was so great. It was like, I just want to go there and hang out for like days, and I just want to move there. So now we're going and visiting all kinds of like free range organic animal farms and animal sanctuaries. And it is like every single place. It's amazing how the sanctuaries, like these animals, some of them have had long, rough lives, and now they're able to draw deep breath and find peace. Sadly, some of the animals are too deep in there. They're like not coming out, but at least they're not being abused anymore. But I'd say at least 90, 99%, like the majority of the animals, they're like, we love this. Especially the peacocks. Oh my God, they're so cocky. So I recommend, with all that's happening on our planet and in our politics and all of that right now, find your local animal sanctuaries or take day trips to them and go and feel what it's like, the gratitude and the joy and the love that these animals will share, and open yourself up to receive. And I'll tell you, it's okay to have the courage to say to the people who work there, I'm picking up something, I'm an intuitive, like, you can even say, I'm not an animal psychic, but I'm picking something up. Can you help me work it out? They will, because every place I've been to, once I had the courage to express what's going on with me in relationship to the animals, they love that. They love it. So I totally recommend it. Also, these animal sanctuaries, like, pretty much every single one of them has wish lists on like Amazon and things like that, where you can go and order something and it's sent to them. Of course, it's a tax write-off for you, but a lot of these items are not expensive. However, every little bit helps. And if you buy something a little cheap and help them out, and someone else buys something a little cheap and helps them out, it will have a couple of like really good things. One, you'll feel good about yourself. And two, you're doing a little bit to help others. You're adding that little drop in the bucket. And three, you're energetically connecting with these animals who will share with you the love and the resonance and the radiance. And that will make you feel really good. And then if you do go and practice, like, any kind of connection with animals, be it energetic or just flow of love or telepathy or whatever, bridges have already been made. Plus, people who do rescue animal work, they're doing really good work and they're always on a shoestring budget. It costs so much money to like feed the animals, take care of the vets. Like, even when they're getting so much donated, every bit helps. So that's my little plug there. If you're ever around Atlanta, Georgia, check out Noah's Ark. It's like, and you'll want to be there for a whole day or two. It's just amazing. And check out any animal. There's Goats of Anarchy in New Jersey. There's, I just posted on Facebook today. Shoot, what is it? It's a chicken rescue organization that has helped something like, God, I always get my decimal points off, like 120,000 chickens that were not laying eggs anymore and they were just going to be killed, get them like healed and then given to a forever home. And they're having some really tough time. If you send me a friend request on Facebook, I'll get my Pinterest and Instagram accounts more active, but right now YouTube and Facebook is overloading me. And let me know you're from YouTube. Otherwise, I'll be like, I don't know who this person is. We have nothing in common. So like, send me a message that you're, you know me on YouTube, because I post a lot of stuff on there too. And yeah, of course I'll friend you. I would love that. Okay, so the reason I bring this up about animals is, one, to let you know what I've been doing the last few weeks. And as you see, like, I'm really happy because animals have a wonderful love energy that's just like, I mean, you know it. I don't need to tell you. And, wait, hold on. And it just has me feeling so good. And knowing that I'm in little tiny ways helping out these different sanctuaries by sending like some of the things that they need through, whatever online order thing they do. And if you're not a member of Amazon Smile, do it, because then everything you buy, a small percentage, there's no additional cost to you, but a small percentage of your purchase money will go to the nonprofit that you select. All right. So the reason I brought this up is because, I've had a lot of clients come to me lately dealing with frustration and anger, and a lot of anger in these days. Understandably, there's a lot going on that we can be angry about. And, you know, from the first 2 times I channeled Jesus, one thing he talked about is when he was crucified, and when they put like embedded crowns in him, and like they crucified him the most painful way. He chose to take all that energy and turn it into the energy that he wanted. So instead of just suffering and pain, which was, you know, the Romans' intention, he converted that energy into energy that he then healed the planet with. And again, just mention, I grew up Unitarian Jew. I've never read the New Testament. I only know what my guides tell me. I don't know, like, I didn't grow up reading the Bible. And I think that makes it easier for me to channel them, because I'm not polluted by interpretations of interpretations of interpretations that are like, you know, loosely based on reality or totally made up to meet some political purpose of the Catholic Church, you know, like 1800 years ago or whatever. When you're getting angry about what's going around you, if you swallow that anger, if you absorb it into yourself, you're not going to do yourself any good. You know, you, in the very least, will lose sleep, or probably, you know, piss off some of your friends by just being stressed out and hyper reactive to people who love you. But you can like give yourself really bad illnesses. Those of you who know my background know I worked in healthcare for several decades, and there's an absolute connection behind our thoughts and our physical health. I worked with, you know, people who were dying. That was the majority of my clients, were people who were literally like, they're going to die soon. So I spent a lot of time talking with people about how their attitude and their emotional state and their belief in themselves connects with their physical issues. So not to get boring on that, just look up Dr. Joe Dispenza, and you'll see how someone who completely compressed, what was it, 6 or 8 vertebrae in his spine, and was supposed to have this horrible surgery, was out of his wheelchair, unparalyzed, walking within like 6 weeks, and back to bike riding in like 3 months, or 2 months, just through the power of his believing that he could heal himself. Dr. Joe, D-E-Z-E-S, Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm getting all dyslexic here. Our brains have so much power, so much ability. But those of us who are intuitive, what is the first thing we do when we're like, oh, I sense something about a person that would benefit them to know? We're like, oh no, they're going to think I'm the weirdo, or I'll be socially ostracized, or, you know, I'm going to like, we immediately stop ourselves. Well, think about it. You have received information because you're open that someone else can use. They're not open enough to receive it on their own, or they're receiving it and, hey, no mosquitoes here. It's a no mosquito zone. Or they're receiving the information, but they're denying it in themselves. They're looking for a little affirmation. And here you are, not that mosquito, you, with the ability to give them that affirmation, but you're stopping yourself. So I'm telling you, you got to have the courage to follow your belief, to step up and speak your truth. If it's your truth in your core, then why is it not your truth out here? What is it? You're like, in my core, I'm purity and light, I'm divine grace, but out here, I'm uptight and responsive, and I have poor self-esteem, and maybe I'm a little depressed. No. If it's your truth in your core, oh, look, there's Donovan. our albino Maine Coon cat. I bet he's watching a little chipmunk or something. If it's your truth, it's your truth. And you got to live your truth. When you deny the radiance of your truth, then you leave yourself susceptible to following other people's truths, whether or not it's actually any kind of reality other than an ugly one created by people. And this is where I'm coming back to what's happening in politics today. And, you know, I'm sorry if I'm insulting people out there, but I have to speak my truth. But I'm not speaking against any beliefs right now. I'm just speaking about honoring truth. So if you feel like the words I'm saying are targeting you and they're dishonoring your truth, then look into yourself and say, why is it that I'm so reactive to the words Bonita is saying? Like, look into yourself and say, what is my truth? What is my reality? So if in your core of being, you know the truth, but then you deny it, you're like, oh, I know it, but I'm going to keep it really close and tight, and I'm not going to let anyone see my truth. Then other people are out there going, what's the truth? What's the truth? And they look to you and they go, oh, insecurity and hiding is the truth. You're not showing them the radiance of love and light. You're showing them that it's okay to deny yourself. So right now we have politicians and big businessmen and supposedly educated people who are denying global climate change. They're saying that this is a natural occurrence. They're saying that this is cyclic. So they have found life on planet, like footprints that are 500 million years old. The oldest footprints have been found. They found the precursors to spiders. They're like, there's all kinds of life 350 million to 500 million years ago, all right, that have been like, you know, huge and amazing multicellular thinking social creatures. So life has been around for a long time. The dinosaurs stopped existing because two things happened simultaneously. A meteor hit at just the worst possible spot on the planet, and some volcanoes erupted pretty much at the exact same time. And the result of this was, of course, ash flow covering the planet, changing the temperature, and then only the tiny little mammals that were deep underground pretty much survived. So there were creatures that have been around for like literally at that point hundreds of millions of years. Okay, millions of years. There were creatures who they were so perfect in evolutionary design. They and their peers, you know, obviously generations of them, were perfectly balanced for millions of years. And then the earth changed its environment and they all died. And then slowly the mammals came out from underground and evolved into us. And now we are changing our environment. So what do we think the reaction is going to be of our planet? Like, this is a no-brainer. This is like, if we don't get our act together and fix the damage we're doing, there will be some kind of, I don't know, cockroach and shark-based species a few million years from now that will be finding our fossils and wondering, there was life on this planet before and they're so strange looking. Do you think they were feathered? Right. So here's the thing. Global climate change, obviously not a hoax. Obviously, who would even think that? People who are denying their truth. So here's the thing. Trump, all of his friends, these are some of the most highly educated men in our country. They know that there's global climate change. So the question is, why are they choosing to deny it? Why are they saying, oh, look, everyone over there at that? Why are they doing the hat trick? What benefit do they have for people not working on global climate change? So if you follow that avenue, like, what does it matter to them if the water level raises up and certain towns get flooded? Well, look at what's the racial features of the people that are getting flooded. What's the income level? How many of them are part of the richest men in the world? The richest men in the world, where do they own land? Do they own land in Puerto Rico or on the Florida or the Virginia shoreline? So I know this isn't really spiritual, but it's something that your brain can grasp and understand. And if you get angry, take that anger, do something good with it, something that will bring you joy. Transmute that energy, okay? Because this is how you start taking power on your own. If I'm angering you by saying, one, I channel Jesus and Mary Magdalene a lot, and two, global climate change is happening, and three, the men who have told us to trust them are the men who literally don't care about us because they've got some hidden agenda that they think we're too stupid to notice. And then additionally, we are kind of too stupid to notice because while we're arguing about all kinds of things like that we should be arguing about, or we should be focusing on or fixing, while we're doing that, they're going ahead with other plans. They're doing the hat trick. So whenever you see a situation, be it internal or around you, that is wrong, there's a few things. One, stop and think for myself. When I'm denying myself, when I'm saying I'm not going to share my truth, stop and think, how does it benefit me to not share my truth? Because there's always a benefit. Just like when I have a migraine headache, I grew up with terrible migraines. How does it benefit me to have a migraine headache? Well, when I have a migraine headache, I'm like, oh my God, no, it wouldn't benefit anyone. Everything is so painful. I'm throwing up. I have to be in a dark room. Sometimes I have to go to the hospital. How does it benefit me to have a migraine headache? People leave me alone. No one has expectations of me. Since I grew up very empathic and psychic, but no one really to train me on it, it was a relief to be completely alone and ignored with nothing impacting my senses. So I've since learned how to work with my energy so that I still get the migraines, but now I know how to release them like almost immediately. So stop and think. When I am working in any way that is not for my most joyous and healthful well-being, what in me benefits? And then think, is there another way that I can benefit, a healthier way to benefit? Because the time has come for us to speak our truths. The time has come for us to be bold and proud and say, yes, I'm an empath, and I feel things that you are denying in yourself. I'm going to tell you what you're feeling. Yes, it's time for us to say we can connect. And then you find the other empaths who are like, oh my God, you too, thank God. I thought it was just me. Let's connect with each other. Then we start forming our own energetic grid that brings healing to the planet. Okay, so I'll tell you, I am, as you can see, pretty tired right now and not in as much structured energy as I usually have because I'm still like getting over the long road trip. And this summer's going to be a little hit and miss for me. I'm going to have to start recording things as they come in. I feel so bad. Saturday, I was in this like neighborhood picnic, and then Gaia came through and she's like, pull out your phone. I want to share the story with everyone about how humans